There is no reason to be jealous if you live your life.
Just name it and name it to the people that maybe you feel jealous with. It doesn't have to be nasty. It can just be I want to be excited and I want this thing for myself in my life too.
I would never want to be that person. So like, what's the point of being jealous of that person?
Wow. Jealousy ruins people's lives, but it doesn't have to. We live in a world where social media allows us to control others' perception of who we are, how happy we are, how successful we are, how fulfilled we are. It's just not true. It's not accurate. And it's leaving us feeling like there's something missing in our own lives. It seems like every day it gets easier and easier to fall into this trap. And that's why it's so important to become aware of this psychological process as soon as possible. Or don't become aware of this and spend your life always comparing yourself to other people, wishing for things that you don't have, instead of being grateful for the things that you do have. In this video, we're gonna break down why we fall into jealousy, why it's so important to let it go, and how to do it. This is taking control of our perception of other people, our perception of our own life. It's about being grateful for who we are and where we are in our own journey. So when I first went to college, I was at University of Michigan, and the first thing that I noticed when I got there was Greek life. And if you don't know what that is, it's the whole system of fraternities and sororities. And if you're not a part of it, they call you a GDI or a GED, which stands for goddamn independent. It's like a derogatory term for people that don't fit in with the crowd. So what I wanted to do was get into the top fraternity because I thought that if I did that it would make me happy. And so I looked at these guys with so much jealousy for, the status that they had, and it seemed like their friendships were incredible and their relationships with partners were incredible. And and I just, to me, it seemed like that was it. Like that's what life is all about. And it is the end all for what I am here to do, right? Like this is what happens when jealousy starts to get the better of you, is you lose focus on why you're even here in the first place. And I don't just mean at college, but I mean here on this earth, like our purpose, our genuine purpose, right? So I looked out at these guys and I thought that, being like them was the secret to unlocking my happiness and my inner freedom. So I went to all of these rush events, which means I just, there's sort of like an open house event where you can come and they judge you and they evaluate whether or not they want you to be a part of their clique. And I went and I made a complete fool out of myself. I just didn't fit in. And trying to sort of fabricate a persona to fit in wasn't working. And eventually I got rejected from every single fraternity that I tried to be a part of. And I was devastated. But what happened in the wake of all of that is I ended up meeting someone in my dorm who lived across the hall, and he became my best friend. And our friendship over the course of the next, even just 2 to 3 months, grew deeper and deeper and deeper, and I found what it was that I was looking for in the end. And the craziest part about this whole story is that this person that I became friends with has gone on to become so unbelievably successful in his professional life, just starting business after business and just really doing an unbelievably incredible job, flourishing, because of how genuine our friendship was and how well I knew him, how good of a person I knew he was. Because of that, because of how real our friendship was and authentic it was, I can look at him and all the success he's having with just an incredible amount of warmth and support and positivity. It's not jealousy that I feel, it's admiration, it's pure joy. And that fuels me. That joy that I feel for his success fuels me to want to do more with my life. Jealousy doesn't give us that same kind of intrinsic motivation. So the important part about this story is to recognize that we have these genuine friendships that are built on appreciation and admiration, and then we have these not so genuine friendships that are built on trying to move up along the social ladder and and gain more status and more followers on social media, and all these things that we think are going to bring us happiness and fulfillment because we look at other people who have it and they seem happy, but we need to remind ourselves that we have no idea if they are or they aren't. These assumptions are absolutely destroying our relationships with ourselves and with the people that we truly care about. So let's break down why we fall into jealousy in the first place. A lot of people think that jealousy is just about wanting the things that you don't have, looking at other people, seeing their success and wishing that was yours. But there's actually another reason why jealousy comes up in the first place. And it's about dissatisfaction with the life that you're currently living. If you're living a life where you're being forced to do things that you don't want to do, that you're not passionate about, and you don't have a really clear goal as to where you're headed in the world, jealousy is going to show up everywhere. And I think that social media can play a really big role in this because people can look at another person and the way that they're portraying themselves. It's like we've been conditioned to only portray the positive aspects of our lives on social media. It's very easy to say, wow, that person has such an amazing life. I wish I had that many followers. I wish I had that paycheck. I wish I had that job, that the status, the house, that whatever it is, we're going to want what we don't have if what we have is not what we want. But the thing is, this is totally natural to look around and see what other people have and wonder what it would be like to have those things. It's totally natural to do that. And I think that a big part of that is just the fact that, we have a limited amount of time here on this earth. And there's like this big rush to do everything and see everything, and that's what it means to live a life well lived. But maybe we're falling into this trap, not because we haven't seen or experienced everything that the world has to offer, but rather we haven't taken the time and done the inner work to recognize that we're not going to experience everything in this world. We're not going to have everything in this world. And even if we did, who knows if that's going to make us happy and fulfilled, right? So the trick is to turn it on its head. Instead of looking out, we need to start looking in.
I feel like when I get jealous, it's in moments when I'm like not focusing on myself.
I think the desire or the suspicion that something's always better.
Ooh.
And so it makes you jealous when you see it.
Better than what we have.
What you have.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And
We fall into jealousy because there's some sort of innate desire for something. Like even if we are happy for another person, maybe that happiness is also like, I kind of want that for myself. So you kind of get in a situation where you don't want to be spiteful. It's more, I want it and I hate that I don't have it too.
I have the idea that this happens when you're not happy with yourself.
okay.
That you are forced to do things that you do not want to do, and you meet people who do what they want to do. There is no reason to be jealous if you live your life.
We put so much time and energy into figuring out what it is that we want to do with our lives, trying to understand what makes us happy and seeing if we can create that for ourselves. So keeping that in mind, why is it so important to let go of that jealousy? Well, the reality is that most of us know all too well is that if we have a goal, a really genuine goal, and we want to accomplish it, it takes 100% focus, energy, and attention to accomplish that goal. Now, if I take my time and my energy and my bandwidth, which is limited, to focus on the things that I don't have, other people that are succeeding in ways that I'm not, even if these things have absolutely nothing to do with our own personal goals, we can still fall into that comparison trap. We have a responsibility, a duty to ourselves to create the life that would be the most meaningful way to live for us. It's about creating the life that we're proud of when we look back in our old age. It's about creating the life that's authentic, that allows you to express yourself fully as you are, right? So if you look at someone else, there's sort of two aspects to this, right? There's The fact that you don't want to be that person. Like, that person doesn't have the same values, the same goals, and the same inspiration that you do, right? It can be really hard to remind yourself of that because, you know, people's lives look so great, right, on social media, and, you know, and you can calculate like how much money they make, or, you know, all of these things that seem significant but really aren't, because we're still left wondering whether or not that person is actually happy and fulfilled, and whether or not those things would make us feel happy and fulfilled. We're not going to be able to sample other people's lives to see if what they have would actually bring us the fulfillment that we're looking for. We have to go based on our inner guide, the guide that tells us who we are truly and what it means for us to contribute meaningfully to the world.
And why do you think we should let that go?
We should accept that what we have is enough. We should be happy with what we have.
I think it's important to let it go because there's no need to be competitive about success or greatness, right, in life. I can be winning, succeeding, achieving wonderful things, and another person can as well. And it doesn't have to be competitive. We both can be great.
Awesome.
One should see that one is as happy as one can be, and it will never be perfect, you know.
Okay, so we talked about why we fall into the trap of jealousy, and we talked about why it's so important to let go. And we kind of teased a little bit as to what the truth is behind letting that go. But let's really dive in. What I've, you know, in speaking to people, you know, that I've interviewed, and just kind of going off of my own personal lived experience, what I do instead of focusing on what other people have is two things. The first is I tell myself, do you know with 100% certainty that that person is happy and fulfilled? And that if you had what they had, that you'd be happy and fulfilled. And I rest in this unknown quality where, you know, I can't say definitively that I want what they have. And this creates some space between you and this emotion of jealousy. You might still feel it, or at least just sense it in the background. But once you've kind of challenged the jealousy, you get a little bit of breathing room. And this is when you really need to take the attention away from whatever it is that you're jealous of, that the thing the person has, it doesn't matter. Turn inward. Turn inward and think about the goals that you have, the things that are meaningful to you in your life, and take one small step towards that goal. Instead of putting our attention on the things that we don't have that other people do have, instead we turn inward and we think about our goals, our purpose, the things that we're grateful for, and we put our energy and attention onto that. And how do we do that though? Is it just something that happens within our mind? No, it's actually something that happens out in the world, right? So if I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all the things I'm grateful for, and let's say it's a friend, I can send that friend a text message expressing that gratitude. Or even just, hey, how you doing? Like, even that shows that you were thinking about them and you care enough about them to just reach out and say hi. That's really, really amazing. When it's something related to a personal goal, what you can do is identify one small task that would move you closer to your goal. It doesn't matter how small it is, just one thing that you can do to move closer to your goal. And when you do that thing, you're going to feel energy and emotion. And I want you to think about what that feels like relative to the jealousy that you felt prior. And the reason that I've found this effective for me is that I will go out and I will take that one step, whatever that is. I'll take that one step that'll move me closer to my goal. I'll feel the accomplishment, this genuine accomplishment of me moving closer and closer to the best version of myself. Those feelings of jealousy, they don't compare in the slightest to the way I feel when I'm taking even the small step towards my personal goal.
I just think about myself. I'm like, these are the things that I like about myself. Like,
Cool.
And the person that I'm jealous of, or at least I'm not usually jealous of a person. I'm usually jealous of a thing, right? Like this person has something, or like something that I, you know, wish I had, and then I realize I could get that if I really wanted to. Also, I would never want to be that person. So like, what's the point of being jealous of that person?
Wow. All right.
I think in one way it's just being loud and bold, or just
Ooh.
open about, you know, why we feel a certain way. I think we shouldn't try to stray away and keep it hidden. That's when it becomes kind of shady or nasty. I think it's perfectly fine to say it loud, like, hey, shoot, I just saw my friend win this award. I've been working in the same field. I want to win it. And just go like, hey, I see how you did it, how you're doing great. I love that for you. I hope I get there one day too. You know, just name it, and name it to the people that maybe you feel jealous with. It doesn't have to be nasty. It can just be I want to be excited and I want this thing for myself in my life too. Name it out loud. Name it out loud.
I love that.
Yeah.
You have to have an idea about who you are. And for example, for me, it took something like until the age of 40, 42, because, well, parents know this and family, but they had a certain idea about life, which was, for me, it was not, didn't have any depth. So I had to find out myself, and this is a hard way, and it's painful. But if you dare to go it, you suddenly feel, wow, it gets better and better day by day.
Wow.
And this makes you happy.
Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned a new strategy for how to deal with jealousy the next time it comes up. Let's let go of that comparison mindset and trade it for gratitude for our own lives, our own self, our own mission. Let's get out there.
When are you going on stage?
I'm going on stage in 2 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to Thailand for an international competition.
Wow. What are you competing in?
Miss Grand International.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Does that, so like, if you see someone else and they're having success, is that something like that ever stirs up any jealousy in you?
Not really.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm happy for that. I'm a mentor. I have a modeling academy. So
Okay.
I prepare a lot of girls for beauty pageants.
Okay.
So when I see them have success, I feel happy too for them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's actually very rare. I've been speaking to a lot of people about it today. And for the most part, they're saying like, oh yeah, it's like really tough. And then I'm asking them like, well, how do you let that go? Like, what do you do to let that go?
In my case, I work very hard for my dreams, and I know
Okay.
how hard it is for other people to achieve their own goals. So I'm not jealous. I'm happy for them.
Wow.
I
Okay,
don't feel
cool.
like it's lucky. They're just prepared for the opportunities.
Wow. So you just focus on yourself, make sure you're doing everything you need to do for your goals, and then it really doesn't even affect you.
Yes.
Wow. Really, really, really interesting answer. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You guys have a great day.
Bye.